Hey everyone, video number 4 on my Healing Manifesto. If you want to download a copy of this, it's on my blog and I'll put a link below. So today I'm talking about changing your life, changing your story, changing your story. How do you change your story? It's not easy, it's not easy to change your story, but from what I've learned the past few years and from the week-long retreat I just did with Dr. Joe Dispenza, he has a saying of change your habits, change the habit of being yourself. That's how you change your story. You change the habit of being yourself. So, it's like, what do you want to change in your life? What's not working anymore? And all you have to do is start making little steps. I love the fact that, if you have a boat on course and it goes 1 degree off, it ends up in a completely different place. So that's all you need to do, is make tiny changes for your life to kind of just make a little detour from where you might be going. And also for me, it's just about really staying open to new possibilities, to the unknown, not staying stuck in a rut and the same old thing. So if you wake up and first thing you do is put your phone on and start scrolling, or you head down to the kettle to make your morning coffee, or you head straight to the shower, your body will follow that habit. You wake up with whatever habit you have, your body knows to do it. So you've got to break that habit somehow. You've got to break your story. So it might be getting up and going for a run, getting up and doing some meditation, getting up and, rubbing yourself all over with beautiful healing, homemade balm, or just something that stops you, put off turning on your phone, put off turning on your computer or your tablet or whatever it is. Do some yoga, do a yoga nidra. It's like little tiny changes. And maybe if you've gone for a run or done some yoga, maybe you feel like having a herbal tea this morning instead of that cup of coffee. Who knows the small changes that might be made. So I really notice, having held circles, women's circles, been in parts of groups that are men and women sharing, mother and daughter circles, you really hear the same stories being played out, and you can really hear when someone's in victim. And that's the other thing, it's about getting out of victim. I've seen people in their healing journeys where actually they get really attached to their illness, and being attached to your illness because you get attention for it. You might get extra money, you might be on disability allowance, or all those things kind of keep you in victim, keep you ill, because actually you think you're getting the attention because of your illness, but actually you're getting the attention because people love you and they want to help you. So if you get out of the illness, get out of the story of the illness, those people will still be there. It's having complete trust that whatever the story is, the people who love you, your tribe, will be there for you. So it's changing your habits. The knock-on effect is changing your life. You've got to change your personal story to change your personality. There will be a knock-on. You start changing what you do in life, your personal story. I was talking to someone the other day, they made a mistake years and years and years ago, and they're living in this reality where people are still holding that mistake that they made in their head. Now, probably everyone else has moved on from that mistake. No one's thinking about, people think about themselves a lot. So that's a story that person's carrying, that these, when these people see me, they're thinking about that awful thing I did years and years ago. And I was just like, well, you know what you need to do? You need to show up as the person you are now, not the person you were 5 years ago, not the person who made that awful mistake. Show up as the person you are now and prove to those people that you're better than that person. You're better than who you were. So that's another one, changing your story. You've got to change your mind as well. Change your mind about things. I had to change my mind on my healing journey. I had so many judgments and preconceptions about things. So one of my stories was that my dad had died from chemotherapy, didn't used to say that he died from having cancer. I used to say he died from chemotherapy. He was fine till he took the chemo. The chemo killed him. I had to have chemotherapy. Chemotherapy was part of my healing protocol. And I've said before, I took that chemotherapy as healing medicine. I blessed it. I asked the angels to bless it. And I visualized it as golden healing light coming into me. I meditated while I was receiving it. I had to change that story that chemo is poison and chemo kills you. And that was massive, because I actually was, there was still part of my mind, this is part of changing my mind, that was convinced it was poison and it wouldn't work. And I had to work really hard on this head. And, I was given some big challenges during that time. One of my friends who'd had cancer passed away. It made me think, what's the point? What's the point of doing this? It doesn't work. And then I had to really change my mind and go, she had a different kind of cancer than me. Her body is not mine. And we're not the same person, and we each have our own journeys. So you have to kind of constantly be catching yourself with that negative self-talk and, find the other side, flip it around, find the other side. So you change your story by changing your life, changing your mind. The knock-on effect then is that your body changes. I actually I've gotten into a habit of, instead of saying when I was ill, I say when I was upgraded, because I do feel like I've been upgraded. I do feel like cancer upgraded me into the person I was meant to be, because I wasn't living the life I was meant to live. I'd got stuck in a rut, doing the same old thing that was easy. It's like, my soul's come here for an adventure. My soul's come here to grow. And if I just stay doing the same old thing, flicking through my phone, watching Netflix, drinking coffee, kind of pootling around on my computer for a bit of work, I've got to step up. We've all got to step up. It's time to step up. It's time to step into your light. It's time to step into your power. We're all carrying fear around that, because you get shot down when you stand in the light. You get, trolls, you get, it's like I was listening to someone, can't remember who it was now, but they were saying, social media is the modern day witch burning, because someone can just shout you down on these platforms. It's time to shine, it's time to step up, it's time to change your story and to be the person you were meant to be. And by doing those things, you change your future. You could say every morning when you wake up, today's going to be the best day ever, and I'm open to whatever opportunities life gives me. I went through a phase of just saying yes to everything, because I was in such a habit of going, no, I'm not going to do that. No, I'm not going to do that. Oh, I won't like the people there. Oh, no, I don't want to go and see that. And oh, that's pushing me out of my comfort zone. What if you said yes to everything life offered you? Just try it. Might be fun. Might be an adventure. That was the other thing. I just decided that every day was going to be an adventure. Even the days when I was just lying on the sofa feeling ill. I was like, this is my adventure. This is what it feels like. What can I do? And, I would do really long meditations, give myself Reiki, ask other people to pray for me and give me Reiki. People love having the opportunity to help. So what if you turned around your life into, it's an adventure. Every day is an adventure. What can you do to make your life an adventure? Get out. Get out in the world. Go see people. Volunteer. Do something you've never done before. That was another thing, I made a list of 12 things I'd always wanted to do in my life. And someone suggested that instead of crossing them off, or when you cross it off, but add another one. So there's always 12 things you want to do. And I need to go back to that list because I can't even remember what's on it. But I did some of those things. Some of them are things that I'd wanted to do for my whole life since I was a child. I wanted to stay in a gypsy caravan. I used to read the famous five, and they had stories where they went off in gypsy caravans. I didn't really want to go off in one because I don't know how to control a horse. So I just wanted to stay in one. I just wanted to have that experience of kind of feeling free and being in a gypsy wagon, sitting around a fire. I did it. Found one online up in North Wales, had a beautiful time in a gypsy wagon. It was really magical. Went walking up the mountains. So, you know, this is my invitation to you to change your life, to change your story. You know, there's some amazing meditations. I really recommend Dr. Joe Dispenza's meditations. He's got one called something like Walking into Your Future. Visioning your future self. Who do you want to be? Vision, you know, what do you think you're going to be doing in 5 years' time? Who do you want to be in 5? If you could be the absolute best, kind of the highest thing you want to go for, you know, even if it's completely bonkers, you know, do you want to be a singer, a songwriter, a teacher, whatever it is, Prime Minister, Queen of Sheba? It's like, put it out there, vision yourself, you know, feel it. Feel what it would feel like to be that version of you. You know, every time you open your eyes in the morning, if you can catch yourself, before you open your eyes, who do you want to be today? Who do you want to be today? What story will you create today? I'm going to leave it there. Done enough waffling. So I want to hear about your stories. How are you going to change your story? What story do you want to change? Contact me if you want some support. I'm really happy to do coaching with people. So, you know, my info's below. Drop me a message. Sending you loads and loads and loads of love. And I just wanted to add to that video about changing your story. So I mentioned the Dr. Joe meditation where you're walking into your future, and it's probably about 2 years ago. I was doing the meditation, and from nowhere dropped in an image of me running. Now, I never run. I was the fat kid at school. I used to lose. I'd be last on all the sports day events, all the races. I'm not a sporty person. But for some reason, last November, I felt like I wanted to start doing some form of exercise that really got my heart going. Now, I've always been a yoga person. You know, yoga's been my thing. Running has never been my thing. But I downloaded the Couch to 5K app and I started running. And I now love running. After I made the last video, I put on my running gear and got out there and went for a run before dinner. So, you know, that's another part of my story that I have switched. So I just wanted to share that, just to give you a little bit of inspiration, and just goes to show that you never know where your life's going to lead you. So I'm going to leave it there.